Hello, I'm Tom Lodziak. Today I've got a video for defensive players. Specifically, we're going to look at 3 classic tactics which defensive players can use to really frustrate their attacking opponent. In the footage, I take on the role of the attacker and my teammate Martin Gray takes on the role of the defender. Martin's in the footage is using long pimples on one side and inverted rubber on the other side. So if you want to improve your defensive tactics to frustrate your opponents, then keep watching. This video is brought to you in partnership with the fantastic Brybar Table Tennis. Brybar sell a wide range of bats, balls, nets, robots and tables from the leading table tennis brands. Go to brybartt.co.uk for more information. The first tactic we're going to look at is ball placement, and specifically varying the ball placement. So you as a defensive player should try and get into the habit of playing your balls into different parts of the table. So it could be short to the backhand, short to the forehand. Could be wide to the backhand, wide to the forehand. Could be deep into the corners or really anywhere along that baseline. And when you start putting the ball into these different positions, especially if you vary it, so sometimes here, sometimes there, sometimes short, sometimes long, then the attacking player has to work much harder. They have to move much more to get into position to play their attacking shots. And as you can see from this footage, where Martin is varying the placement of his shots, quite honestly, I'm stumbling over my feet sometimes just trying to get into position. And when I'm not into position, then I start making more errors. So it's a very simple tactic, but really important for defensive players to get the ball into different parts of the table and to keep varying the position. The second classic tactic for defensive players to use is to vary the defensive strokes that you use. So you want to use a range of different defensive strokes. So it might be touching the ball to keep it short. It might be an aggressive push, pushing the ball deep. You might be using blocks. It could be a slow block, or it could be a slightly more aggressive block. Back from the table, using your chops, and also throwing in some lobs, sending some balls higher up. And if we look at the footage here, again, of Martin changing the spin throughout the rally, you can see me as the attacking player having to adjust to these different shots and to play different strokes and making mistakes as I'm having to transition from one stroke to another. So all this variation, all these different types of defensive shots that you can play makes it much harder for your opponent to keep on attacking effectively, and they're likely to make many more mistakes. And don't forget to attack sometimes too. I often feel that a defender's attack is often more effective than an attacker's attack because you're not expecting it. Because the defender spends so much time defending that when they do decide to attack, the other player's a bit, wasn't expecting that. So, you know, throwing in some attacks is another really good way of keeping your opponent sort of unbalanced. The third classic tactic defensive players can use is to change the amount of spin they generate when playing their defensive strokes. So let's take a chop, for example. When you're chopping the ball, you can load it up with heavy backspin, or you could do it with much lighter backspin, just kind of floating the ball over. And when you change between heavy backspin and some floatier balls, once again it makes it harder for the attacking player because they have to play their strokes in a slightly different way. If it's heavier backspin, they have to loop up more. If it's a floatier ball, then they have to get over the top of it more. So when you're continually changing between heavy backspin and lighter backspin, the attacking player really has to watch your contact point, watch the flight of the ball, and adjust their stroke accordingly. So you're working them much harder. And as you can see in this footage here, as sometimes Martin digs in a heavy backspin ball, and then the next one will come over a little bit floatier, and I'm having to adjust to this, and once again I make some mistakes. The goal with these three tactics is maximum disruption. It makes it really hard for the attacking player to find that attacking rhythm. Okay, you're disrupting the flow. You are trying to get them to make mistakes. And when an attacking player does start making some mistakes, the confidence can soon drain away. And you as a defensive player kind of know that you've got it now, you're going to win this game. Because when the confidence drains away from an attacking player, they start to lose the shape of their shots, the footwork becomes a bit more ragged, they get a bit more frustrated, they may get a bit more wild with their shots, and then they make more and more mistakes. So by using these three classic tactics of varying the placement, varying your shots, the pace, the rhythm, varying the spin, you can create this maximum disruption and force your opponent to make lots and lots of errors. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for Martin Gray for helping me to film this video and destroying my confidence with his evil defensive skills. If you found this video useful, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll have lots more videos coming soon, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.